heroes, it's hero the killer, catch on nobody but yourselves, nothing less to do. No more heroes, no time to sleep if you're gonna be number one.
Travis, it's kill or be killed.
Hello there, welcome back to the channel. You know who you are. This is the long-awaited follow-up to my first No More Heroes video, the tragedy of Travis Touchdown. If you're new here and you like No More Heroes, I suggest you go check that video out. It's rather long though, so check it out after this one. But this is a video that's been a long time in the making. I was struggling with the idea of putting this on a separate channel, but for all the people who really wanted to hear my thoughts on No More Heroes 3, I'm going to deliver in the best way that I can with an analysis of the plot's most important characters. The protagonist, Travis Touchdown, and the antagonist, Jess Baptiste VI, aka Fu. I'll talk a little bit about Henry as well for everyone that wanted me to, so sit back. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. I usually do this kind of long-winded analysis type videos on various other series, primarily anime and manga. And without further delay, let's get into the topic of this video.
No more heroes, it's hero the killer, catch on nobody but yourself, nothing less to do. No more heroes, no time, just a sleep if you're gonna be number one.
Now, I'm going to try not to discuss the overall theme of No More Heroes 3, the problems, or my own grievances. Instead, I will discuss what the fourth entry in the series does phenomenally. I am no stranger to complimenting the genius mind of Suda51, and here will be no different. No More Heroes 3 takes the best parts of the previous three entries and combines them into something truly spectacular. While it's not perfect, it's not terrible either. And I want to talk about Travis and Fu and why I believe they are perfect mirrors to each other. I'll keep it light on the history of Travis Touchdown because I already covered that in a nearly 2-hour video now. To understand why I believe Fu is the perfect mirror to Travis, first I need to talk about Henry and why he is the perfect foil to Travis. In the first game, Henry is everything Travis is not. He maintains a cool as a cucumber demeanor, he is in control of his life, he has a wife, he has a job, he's assumed to be well off financially, while Travis lives in a dilapidated hotel resembling an otaku stereotype without a job and trapped in a terrible loop of murdering people in order to sleep with Sylvia. Even their designs contrast one another. Travis's hair is spiked while Henry's is slicked back. Travis wears bright red and blue while Henry opts for something more subdued. And finally, the two employ identical weapons. In fact, Henry is the only other character in the first game who wields a beam katana. Even in subsequent sequels, his beam katana remains rather normal in comparison to everyone else wielding one, besides Ryuji. As I already stated in my previous video, Ryuji is supposed to be basically Travis, in my opinion at least. It's rather intriguing how, as Travis improves throughout the series, Henry deteriorates. In No More Heroes 2, I believe the first indication of him being deranged occurred during his dream sequence boss fight with Mimi. The dream was a parody of how odd anime can be, but the extent to which Henry devolves into what we see in this third installment is telling. That is why I feel like this was the first step in him subconsciously distancing himself from the object reality of the world in which he finds himself in, which already is pretty strange to be honest. The premise, I believe, is expanded significantly in Travis Strikes Again. After seeing the first Thor film, Henry becomes completely deranged, joining a cult and developing a newfound desire to murder Travis, as he is no longer able to distinguish fiction and reality, seeing himself as Thor and Travis as Loki. Or maybe he saw himself as Loki and Travis as Thor. I'm not quite sure, but if only he had stuck around for the other subsequent MCU films. This concept of Henry losing his mind, in my opinion, is the driving force behind everything he does in No More Heroes 3. Henry makes a somewhat contradictory statement. He discusses his relationship with Travis and Jean in detail, yet what he says kinda contradicts Jean's narrative.
You are my half-brother. You know that manga called Miyuki? The Japanese one? Well, it's like that. Your father abandoned my mother to run off with your mother. It broke her heart beyond repair. She killed herself. Knowing I had nowhere to go, he took advantage of me. Ever since I can remember, he molested me. We lived in this rotten apartment, and I was his slave. Every day I cursed his soul. I swore that I would kill him one day. But cursing didn't change anything. That's when I decided to become a killer. With no money to pay for training, I paid with my body. But to you, I bet that son of a bitch looked like a hard-working family man. That was all an act. He didn't give two shits about cleaning up my life. So I decided to clean it up myself. That's why I do what I do. And I got what I wanted. Killing him in front of your very eyes. That's my story.
Listen, little brother. It was a snowy day. We 3 siblings made our escape from our serial killer father. We ran through the snow. I was holding Jean, who was still small. And you were crying as you ran. We spent days and days in the woods. We built an igloo out of the snow to escape the cold. We had finally found our way to a major road. Those huge cars moved in and surrounded us. We heard the sound of the locks. The adults, they took us, and they tied us up. After that, I lost all my memories. And had them overwritten with those of a child born to the cool-down family.
That's what I think, and I'm going to stick with those sentiments because to me it makes the most sense given context. I genuinely believe this is what Suda was going for. I don't want to think he'd discard what was written before, leaving a huge plot hole in the story, but No More Heroes 2 does exist, so who knows. But to recap, I think Henry is crazy and we shouldn't really take anything that he says to face value because of how he's devolved as a person over the years. Now to the meat of this video. Throughout the course of No More Heroes 3, we learn a lot about Travis, but on the inverse, we learn a lot about our main antagonist as well. This is where No More Heroes 3 greatly differs in its storytelling compared to the previous games. We didn't know who we were fighting and each boss was completely new to us. No More Heroes 2 follows the same structure, but we knew who we were facing this time. However, we never saw his appearance until the end of the game. We didn't really know his motivations until that point in the game either. Travis Strikes Again is the closest thing to what No More Heroes 3 does with its main villain. It primarily focuses on Travis and Dr. Juvenile, who surprisingly was the final boss of the game. Also, just like Fu, we learn a lot about her throughout the course of the game through her various creations. But that's where the similarities stop. As I said earlier, Fu is the perfect mirror to Travis. Fu is looking for companionship, but instead of forming healthy relationships with his comrades, it's all done by force. It's a toxic cesspool, if you will, that ultimately stems from his upbringing. Fu is a prince. He had it all. He's extremely privileged and powerful, letting that bloodlust for conquest and victory blind him. Fu genuinely believes that he is a hero. I see Fu as a Travis who didn't take to heart any of the lessons he learned throughout his years. While Travis was looking for the exit to paradise, Fu didn't care about such things. To him, this garden of insanity probably was paradise. A similar mindset that Travis had during his fight with Death Metal.
Hey, you know what paradise is, right?
Paradise.
This is paradise, the place where dreams are fulfilled. Well, you've had your dream, old man. Time to wake up.
This is no paradise.
All right, then what is it?
A place to die.
I'm glad you and I are on the same page here.
So naive. You have no idea, do you? What a pity. You make an old man cry. Arrogant, crude little shits like you come around from time to time. Listen well, young one. The wall is high, higher than you will ever know.
Ha! So you actually made it all the way here. I'm more pleased than surprised. To think that there was a shining pebble in the rough of that trash planet after all. You're that shining pebble, but I'm a fucking diamond! And that's quite a huge disparity.
You just can't stop talking, can you, Prince Dumbass? Do you really fear me that much?
What the fuck you say? Fear? What the hell is fear anyway? I can't even comprehend the emotion you call fear. No, seriously, tell me, what is fear?
That's sad. Didn't your mommy and daddy teach you? It's not nice to cause trouble for others. No? Cause trouble. And you'll get scolded. But nobody's ever scolded you before, have they?
My daddy scolded me once. I was punished and was sent to rot in space prison.
Black hole prison? It's basically paradise. That wasn't punishment. You just went on a nice little vacation abroad. And that's how we get Prince Dumbasses like you.
Fu is a Travis that did not have genuine friendships to ground him. I think, as cliche as that is, friendship is the big difference between the two and a main aspect of this game overall. We get a glimpse of this as early as the first boss, Mr. Black Hole, who shows Travis his world that had been turned into rubble by Fu. He also refers to Fu as his boss, not his friend, something that we will touch upon later. When Travis questions his reasons for not retaliating, Mr. Black Hole tells him that no one would be a match for Fu.
Where am I?
This is my planet. Well, now it's a hellscape with nothing but a graveyard and a galactic waste disposal site. This is where we grew up. My boss, Fu, he went bad shit crazy. Destroyed the whole planet. Ha! Ain't that a bitch?
It is indeed. So why not get revenge?
Revenge against Fu? We wouldn't last 3 damn seconds against him.
Are you okay with a life of submission?
Well, that's how I've lived. It's my destiny.
Rethink this. You can still go back. Go on back to space.
Nope, no can do. Either way, Fu is gonna kill me.
I see. Yeah, about that destiny. I'll put an end to that for you!
Sounds good. Okay, wanna get started?
It's a common theme within this game. A bunch of Fu's allies are broken, abused aliens. Most of them abused by his own hands. Forced to follow him because if they don't, well, everything that they love and hold dear would be destroyed. We see this fact brought up again when Travis fights Sonic Juice, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to Sonic Juice later. Fu believes that the people he surrounds himself with are his friends, even if that couldn't be further from the truth. This is one of the reasons why he decides to confront Travis early on, killing Badman, an eye for an eye if you will. He's genuinely upset that Travis killed Gojo and Mr. Black Hole.
Sup, assassin? You the one who killed my buddy?
I saw you on TV, Prince. What a lame-ass little speech. That shit was just stupid. We had our own Miike night over here. Thanks to that, I came to the conclusion that Andromeda deserves to be reevaluated.
Ugh. Keep talking all you want. You're already dead. Or close enough anyway. Because you've pissed me off. When the conversation stops, that's when you die.
Oh, so you're challenging me, huh? You talk a pretty big game, Prince Dumbass.
You, a human, ridicule me? That shall not stand.
I'm tired of all this ranking bullshit. All I gotta do is take Prince Dumbass's head off and it's over. Bring it on! I'll give you a little kiss.
This is over. I'll show you how it ends!
Let's go!
Get away from him! Back off! Fucking punk! That stings. Who the hell are you? That's about enough from you. Now it's my turn. Where are you? Hey, assassin. This a friend of yours? Let him go! He's got nothing to do with this. You're here for me. That doesn't make any sense. You killed my buddy, right? And so, well, this is how it's gotta be.
Before every fight, we learn a little bit more about him through the eyes of his comrades. Most of them view him as a god to be worshipped, or someone to be feared. And some people have Fu on the receiving end of the toxic behavior, like Midori Midorikawa and Velvet Chair Girl. The only person that keeps it real with him is Vanishing Point.
You know, I've known you for a long time.
Oh, the Gold family has served the royal family for about 23,700 years now. It has been pretty long.
This is apparently a specialty of this planet. These humans line up for more than 2 hours for this shit.
And you got some just for me?
I had Damon's secretary line up for it.
Long lines. Oh, wow. How delicious. These little balls.
Is this stuff really that good? Damon gave me some once, back in the day. I liked milk better.
So, you two are like super close friends, right? You and Damon?
Yeah, we're real close.
How nice.
You're a good friend too. Sorry I got you mixed up in this fight, especially when you helped me break out.
Friend, I'm so honored. I will give you my life, Your Majesty.
Life isn't something you give away. It's something you protect.
Your Majesty.
It's almost time. Travis is coming.
Leave him to me, Your Highness.
You think you can take him down?
Of course. He is but a simple human. I'm going to cut off his arms, and will then proceed to slice him up nicely.
Hey, tell me about some of your memories.
Feeling sentimental,
I don't like it when a friend dies.
This happened a long time ago. I went on a family trip to the sea, but I don't remember anything about the ocean. What was burned into my memory was a shop with a glass bulb hanging from the ceiling. I was moved by the sound of the jingling glass. And when I left the shop, there was a white lighthouse. But as for where that place was, I have no idea at all.
That's a nice story. Let's go out there and find that lighthouse together.
Lord Fu, thank you.
Now go! Black Knight direction!
I'm off.
Prince, you hate me, don't you?
I don't hate you. I just don't like you is all.
That counts as being in the hate category, but what would you know, huh?
You making fun of me?
I'm just being honest. Listen, value those who tell you the truth. Nobody speaks their mind in front of the prince.
What?
The people always say nice, happy things to you. But they're either talking shit behind your back, or they're knocking on you to the king. Definitely. 100%.
Is this true?
If you don't believe me, set up some cameras or something.
This shit is not okay. I'm gonna execute them all!
Hey now, calm down, Prince. That's textbook spoiled rich kid talk. Let it go. Forgive your enemies and make them your friends. That's how a real leader does it.
vanishing point. Will you keep being honest with me?
Prince, I couldn't bullshit you even if I wanted.
I hope not.
You stay honest with me, too.
Now, remember I mentioned Sonic Juice? Well, about him. He has no other option but to fight. Simply put, Fu would wipe out his entire species.
You willing to back off?
That is going to be rather difficult. Fu is terrifying. If I were to disobey him, my entire species would be wiped out. This planet, too, was destroyed by Fu.
A place as beautiful as this?
This world was purged, its civilizations decimated, left with nothing but a legacy of death.
I guess that settles it then. We're destined to fight.
Travis spares Sonic Juice, but Fu just kills him anyway. Despite him and Sonic Juice sharing the strongest and closest friendships of all the bosses thus far, it means nothing. Fu even says this.
Fine, you're an interesting guy. You fucking dick prince!
You're getting soft, assassin. You can't beat me like that. You're too soft.
Wasn't that your friend?
Ah, I've forgotten about all that old stuff. We're in different positions now.
Fu has no regard for life and no regard for friendship. I chalk this up to his fear of Travis' touchdown. It's quite ironic given how Fu acts and what he says at the start of the game compared to what he says now.
Friend, I'm so honored. I will give you my life, Your Majesty.
Life isn't something you give away. It's something you protect.
Wasn't that your friend?
Ah, I've forgotten about all that old stuff. We're in different positions now.
As Fu continues to lose friends throughout the course of the final installment of this game, Travis, on the other hand, finds new ones, in addition to his old ones. It's been 3 games leading up to this. He respects life, whether it's from Earth or otherwise. He's no longer this bloodthirsty assassin itching for his next kill. The biggest indicator that Fu is just like Travis comes from their final confrontation, mirroring one of the most pivotal moments of the first game.
Do you like fear?
Do you really fear me that much? Can't say. Never felt it.
Fear? What the hell is fear anyway? I can't even comprehend the emotion you call fear. No, seriously, tell me, what is fear?
Fu ultimately lost because he treated everyone around him like dirt. Fu's biggest mistake was facing someone who had so much in common with him, someone who could have gone down a similar path. Fu was humbled at the end of the game as he's betrayed by Damon, seemingly the last person who gave a shit about him. Travis throughout No More Heroes 3 isn't treated like Fu. He's not feared by the people around him, nor does he have the same insecurities as Fu. He walks on equal footing with the people he surrounds himself with, like real friendships. He's no longer the same person who entered the Garden of Madness, or perfectly put, the Garden of Insanity, all those years ago. Stepping in when he needs to, no longer running from his problems, but facing them head on. What started off as a revenge story quickly turned into something bigger than himself and his needs. Travis has to save the world. If he doesn't, who will? I guess it could be seen as atonement for all the killing he's done in his life. Like those redemption stories where the villain does one good deed at the end of his journey to rewrite the wrongs of his past. But it feels like Travis will never find the atonement for being an assassin. He'll never rest. Even in self-isolation, it seems like he just can't kill the past. Fu found the exit to paradise within death, while Travis is still searching. Thank you all for watching. This is Grimtoki. This has been Beyond Animation. And if you like anything I had to say, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It greatly helps out the channel. And I think this is the final chapter of my No More Heroes videos. Unless something else happens and I have to come back and talk about these characters I love so much. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
This count. I feel as if I'm looking at my future self. Mega bucks, big-ass house, fast cars. Dining in style with a world-class chef and a trusty nutritionist counting every calorie. A team of hot yoga instructors to keep me in shape. Nurses to attend to my body. Maids and loyal servants at my beck and call. On the weekends, tan babes knocking on my door every 2 hours. Every day full of excitement and luxury. That'd be the life. Everything in its right place. It's the perfect life. It's the life of winners. That'll be my life. I thirst for selflessness. Hypocrites lusting for their own desire to get killed by young rookies like me. This is how it goes down. And for the old killers, they'll croak anyway. I guess you can call this a comedy. I realize there's really nothing here for me. But what else can I do but keep going? Maybe I should have been a little more careful before I jumped in. Gotta find the exit. Gotta find that exit to paradise. But I can't see it. Can't see anything. There's this sense of doom running down my spine like it's trying to suck the life out of me. I need to get rid of it before I bail. Something deeper. Deeper than my instincts is taunting me. Can't find the exit. Can't find the exit. Can't find the exit. Can't find the exit. Can't find the exit.